What's up, guys? In this installment of Startup Pivots to Fame, we're going to be going through two stories now. The first one's going to be Groupon, and the second one's going to be Instagram. Now, I know you can't wait to hear these stories, and if you want to stick with me right now, let's do it.
Ask Alex. Ask Alex. Because you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know, now you know.
Yeah.
Now, did you know Groupon began as a consumer activist site called The Point? Sometimes big things come from the most unexpected ideas. Take Groupon, which is argued to be a predatory business. It started out something akin to a charity. I mean, go figure. In 2006, Andrew Mason was doing contract work, building databases at a company founded and funded by a rich entrepreneur called Eric Lakowski. Now, in 2007, with Lakowski's cash, Mason started working on a company called The Point. It was a social media platform designed to get groups of people together to solve problems as causes. It basically went nowhere. Lakowski saw a campaign where a group of users decided their cause should be saving money. The plan was to get 20 or so people who all wanted to buy the same product and see if they could get a group discount. Some former employees was quoted saying, Eric said, maybe this is the thing that we do. Maybe we set up a separate page, make it dedicated to group buying. For a year, Lakowski just would not let the idea go. He'd mention it, all the expensive purses his wife and her friends were buying and say, it's crazy. Couldn't they buy 20 of them and get a discount? Groupon was born. The do-gooders decided Groupon should offer one deal a day, that it should sell vouchers for local businesses, and that the daily emails should have fun copy. Mason also pitched Groupon as a way to help local businesses with cash flow at the time, where banks were not lending. The concept immediately took off in 2008. In January 2009, Groupon held its company holiday party at a small apartment of its CTO. He cooked for everyone. A year later, Groupon had around 300 employees. A year later, it had 5,000. And now I think you know the rest of the story. It hasn't gone so well. It's still pretty incredible though. Now, the next story we're going to go through is Instagram. Instagram was a copy of Foursquare called Bourbon. Now, Foursquare hasn't gone anywhere, but Instagram has. Now, in late 2009, Foursquare was getting popular, and location-based check-in apps were very quickly becoming the focus in the Valley, this whole solo mo thing. Kevin Systrom had launched a few side projects, but in late 2009, he concentrated his attention on one, an iPhone app that combined elements of Foursquare with Mafia Wars. It was called Bourbon. Kevin said, I figured I could build a prototype of the idea in HTML5, get it to some friends. Those friends ended up using the prototype without any branding elements or design at all. The app's primary functions but let users check in to the locations, make future plans, earn points for hanging out with friends, and post pictures. The traction was fine, but to quit his job at Next Stop, he would need money. Happy Days came over cocktails in early 2010 at a party for a failed startup called Punch. Kevin said at the party there were two people from Baseline Ventures and Andreessen Horowitz. I showed the prototype and we decided we'd meet up for coffee to talk about it. After the first meeting, I decided to take the dive and leave my job to go solo and see if Bourbon could be a company. Within 2 weeks of leaving, I raised $500K from both Baseline and Andreessen Horowitz and started work on finding a team. Systrom found a co-founder called Mike Krieger, who worked at Meebo and had met at Stanford's Mayfield Fellows program, but they became unhappy with Bourbon. Kevin said once he joined, we took a step back and looked at the product as it stood. We decided that if we were going to build a company, we wanted it to focus on being really good at one thing. It was cluttered and overrun with features, so they used analytics to figure out what was going on. People weren't using Bourbon's check-in feature at all. What they were using, though, were the app's photo sharing features. They were posting and sharing photos like crazy. 3 months after funding, they made a ballsy decision to scrap bourbon and build an entirely new app from the ground up. Like, WTF. Really? Kevin said it was really difficult to decide to start from scratch, but we went on a limb and basically cut everything in the bourbon app except for its photo, comment, and like capabilities. As Sawyer puts it in his book, Zigzag, The Surprising Path to Creativity, they began by studying all the popular photography apps, and they quickly honed in on two main competitors. Hipstamatic was cool and had great filters, but it was hard to share your photos. Facebook was the king of social networking, but its iPhone app didn't have a great photo sharing feature. Mike and Kevin saw an opportunity to slip in between Hipstamatic and Facebook by developing an easy-to-use app that made social photo sharing simple. They chopped everything out of bourbon except the photo, comment, and like features. They also added filters. They picked 11 from the original 30, but simplicity remained their focus. In their final version, you could post a photo in 3 clicks. The founders settled on the name Instagram as a portmanteau of instant, and Telegram as it also sounded kind of camera-y. Not like Snapchat, who thinks they're a camera company, but anyway. So Instagram, a startup which had existed for a mere 551 days, which had never made a cent in revenue, and which employed just a dozen people, was sold to Facebook for $1 billion. This just goes to show you that if you really pay attention, like what is it people doing, you're on the right trends at the right time, incredible things can really happen. And ultimately, if you're really solving a problem for corporate that has the money, you can make out like a bandit and reach the unicorn status in cash and not paper. Okay, there you guys, those are 2 stories about Groupon and Instagram. If you enjoyed that, feel free to share it with your friends. I'd really appreciate it. I'll see you guys. Bye.